Welcome to this week's edition of the Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight, brought to you by Wheels and Deals of Pomeroy and the Meigs Independent Press.
This is Carrie Rose, Meigs Independent Press, with this week's installment of Community Spotlight, sponsored by Wheels and Deals. And with me this week, I have Barry McCoy, and we're going to be talking about something that if you have been in any village in the county, you've noticed some banners going up. It's the banner project, honoring and recognizing our veterans. So tell us a little bit about how this got started.
Well, several villages have did this, and we were basically looked into it and thought we was going to get a grant to do it, but of course that fell through. So had a lot of support. Right now it seems like it's a big thing to honor your veterans, which for so many years they didn't. And so Sammy Sisson and Shiloh Little called a few of us veterans, basically pretty well one. I'm from Syracuse, a couple from Racine, some from Tupper's Plains, and we had a meeting and talked it over and just went over what was required. I went to Ripley and talked to them to see how they ran their programs. Others went to some other places, and we got ideas and just had tremendous support from everywhere. We raised somewhere between $16,000 and $17,000 because our grant didn't come through. We didn't go asking merchants and dealers because they get hit so much, but some of them did donate it. And we had some private citizens that donated money up into thousands of dollars, which is just, to me, outstanding that they would do that. And it's like everything else, a small local community like this, you know, you drive down the streets now where the banners are, oh, I know him, you know, yeah. and it was tremendous.
It's been, the response has been incredible. Now, how many banners have you put up?
I mean, I've got all the stats down here because I'm at 324.
And that's throughout the county.
Throughout the county.
In Middleport, Pomeroy.
Okay, I got that. Chester has 25.
Okay.
Middleport 44. And of course Pomeroy, it's the largest, 95. Racine, which has 72, which is quite a bit. Even Reedsville has 10. Syracuse 22. Tupper's Plains 31. I mean, it's just tremendous. And now that people have saw them, we're getting all kind of inquiries about can we put him or someone else in. And some towns we actually had problems finding place to put them all.
And that right now is one of the things, you're running out of space to be able to put them up. But there's a possibility down the road that there could be more applications taken, more banners put up. Maybe not necessarily in the village.
Well,
depending on where the space is.
This first time, we actually had on the form where you could choose where you wanted your banner to go. And even if someone said, you know, I want my son's near his grandmother's house, if it was all possible, we did that. And like when I laid out the ones in Syracuse, I tried to put them near, some of them people still live, and luckily we put the banner across the street from them, which is pretty cool. And we tried to put them near where there's something they were associated with. And like I say, now every banner is up in every town, and it was amazing. We put all these banners up in something like a 2-week period. They just came in, and we met up at Syracuse Community Center. That's where we've always had our meetings. And went in one of the rooms, put out tables, and took 300 and some banners, and Racine made out places in it and started going through, well, where's this one go? And we had lists. We'd already had lists, and so we divided them all up that day. And I mean, and Tupper's Plains was putting them up, I believe, almost the next day.
Racine was very quick.
Yeah.
I know they went up by my office, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, there's banners everywhere. They did it very quickly.
Yes, they did. Everywhere in Syracuse, we were trying to get something in, and then Racine got theirs done so quick. We had a couple of bucket trucks for them, and so like say 22 in Syracuse, in about 3 hours we had those up, which was amazing. We had people helping, and it went really fast. And now people, like I say, are driving around and seeing them. So they're questioning about more. And we're going to be having a meeting here in the next couple of weeks. We got a little money left, nowhere near enough to start doing them, but we will go into the individual towns and see. And maybe if there is more put up, you may not have a choice
As to where they
as
go.
where. We'd always try to put them up as close to a community as we could that the people are from.
Well, I know that that's been, it's been a small group of volunteers that just decided
Yes.
to do something and make a difference with it. And it's not just past veterans. There's current.
Yes.
There's some, I've seen some from World War I, and there's some,
Yes.
that have been through every engagement that we've had since then.
Yep.
And it has been just amazing to see. And it's interesting to see, I keep, through Facebook, I keep seeing people posting, generations. You have different generations of people that have veterans in their family, and so you see, the poster of the father and grandfather, or father and daughter, and different things throughout. And it's just been an amazing thing to see the response. There's a lot of veterans in Meigs County.
There is, and what amazed me, I spoke at the Veterans Day at Southern High School a couple years ago, and I told these, I said, what amazes me, I was drafted in 1965, as soon as I got out of high school. I had no choice, and I liked it, and I stayed 23 years in the National Guard, and then 20 years in the Army Ready Reserve where they could call me back. But I said, these kids now, there's no one making them do this. They're going up and enjoying up and putting their life on the line, and no one is making them do it. Now, I had no choice. If I hadn't been drafted, I would have never joined anything. But when I wasn't exposed to it, I liked it and wanted to stay in.
I was going to say, you chose to stay in
Yes.
after you got in there.
Yes, but I had no choice. I got a letter in the mail that said, you report to Ashland, Kentucky.
And that's something that people don't, we don't have to do that now. We really have an amazing volunteer army that, and all branches of the service, and it is just amazing. There's a lot of opportunity there, especially if someone needs that start in life. It's another opportunity. But it has just been amazing to see, and I know you mentioned her name. I know that Sammy didn't really want to be mentioned, and she doesn't really want any kind of credit out of this. And a lot of the people that have been working on this have tried to be in the background because it's not been about the volunteers.
Yeah.
It's been about the veterans, and which is amazing and very commendable. And I know that it's not about the people doing it. It's about those that served. But it has been just amazing to see what a handful of volunteers can do.
Oh, it is. Like I said, the main committee was Bob Mercenko from up Tupper's Plains, Charlie Musgrave from up to Racine, and Lou Van Meter. I mean, those are the ones that, with Sammy and Shiloh, when we had our meetings, was that every one of them and did the legwork.
And just jumped in and got it done.
Got in, and the Veterans of Foreign War chapter from Tupper's Plains, that we used their tax exempt and everything. They volunteered that and helped us with the books and stuff. That was a tremendous help. That was one less thing we had to do.
So you were able to run through that?
Yes, yeah, and the checks and everything, deposit the money. So that was really a help for us.
And all of your volunteers?
All volunteers, yes.
It's amazing to me that, and you see it over again, Meigs County takes care of Meigs County. And to see just what a handful of people can do. And I know that's one of the things that everybody says, oh, this should happen or that should happen, or maybe somebody ought to do this. Well, what happens if you really want to see something happen, do it. I mean, what a handful of people have done, you're seeing in every village in the county. It's just amazing to me, the level of work involved in that, and the applications. I mean, that's a lot of applications.
We had people from California. I sent an application to a friend of mine that lives in San Antonio, Texas. It's not just people here that's been involved in it.
It's been people that have that tie in the community,
Yeah.
and they still have family. They still have they want their loved one remembered for what they did in their service. It's just incredidible to me. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Well, just everyone that has helped, tremendous thank you. Like people helped us put them up that had nothing to do with the program till the day someone called them and said a couple people donated lift trucks, which that made the whole process so much easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I say, it's just been a tremendous community affair. Everyone I kind of thought when it started that be 100 banners, maybe for the whole county, but they just kept coming in, applications coming in. I was amazed that we had that many.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate your service.
Yeah, thank you.
And if there's going to be more opened up, you guys will announce that.
We'll announce that. Like I said, we've got to have an organizational meeting now since we finished that phase of it and see where we stand. And
well, and depending on when this comes out on taping, you may have that information out. But you
Yeah.
guys have a Facebook page.
Yeah,
Meigs County Armed Forces Banner Project.
so, yeah, I think
Something,
that's it.
yeah. And you check that out. Of course, we'll have information on the Meigs Independent Press. And if there's any further updates, we'll be letting people
Yep.
know about that. And we have Memorial Day coming up. People will be going to the cemeteries. Please take your time to attend a service, and take your time to go visit the grave, especially if I always try to do that. Visit a grave of someone that maybe they don't have any family
Yep.
around anymore. Put some flowers out.
And that is what our plan for these is. In the future, the banners will go up the week of Memorial Day and then come down the week after Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
So they will not be up all year round.
And they won't be in the weather through the winter. And
Yeah, so they'll be down and, they'll be put back up the next year, which would be a lot easier than next year.
Yes, and it will be, and they'll last a lot longer.
Oh, yes.
Because of that.
Yes.
Because of that. But,
Jason Shane, I should mention Jason. He helped us a lot up at Racine with he does all that work with the banners and all that, but he was a tremendous help with us.
Okay. Well, again, make sure that you check out the banners and you go through and let's remember Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and all those times that we can give thanks for those that protect our freedom and make it possible. I always remember that because I would not have the free press if it was not for the American soldier.
That's right.
So we want to thank all of you that have been involved in service, past and present, and those that are considering in the future.
That's right.
There is a future there in participating in protecting our country. So again, this is Carrie Rose, Meigs Independent Press with Wheels and Deals Community Spotlight. We'll be back again next week with another episode.
This week's Community Spotlight is brought to you by Wheels and Deals of Pomeroy and the Meigs Independent Press.